So during my engineering, I actually had 9 backlogs, and
Hi, good evening, everyone. Today we are in another session with in conversation with Bright Minds, and we have with us Piyush Sharma. He is a perpetual learner who is keen to solve meaningful problems using data science. Currently, he is a consultant with Equifax. Welcome to the show, Piyush.
thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. So, Piyush, would you kind of share, what your journey has been till now and what you did as part of your education and how you landed up with this profile?
Sure. So I actually did my engineering in aerospace from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh. Uh, I chose aerospace engineering because I had an inclination towards the armed forces. I was fascinated by the Indian Air Force, so I took up aerospace engineering. After my engineering, I actually went for 6 to 7 times. I went for the interviews. Unfortunately, couldn't make it through the interviews. After that, I decided to shift my career towards data science. For which I actually did a post graduation degree with Manipal. And after that, I actually landed with one of my target companies, which is Equifax, and I'm working as a consultant in models and attributes team there.
Got it. So,
Yeah.
I wanted to understand when you say you gave up you gave interviews and you could not get the
Mhm.
job.
Mhm.
This is something that a lot of people face, after doing their bachelor's. So, what kept
Yeah.
you motivated to keep trying? And when did you decide that I actually should be doing some other degree to get there in the sector, in the corporate sector?
Okay. So the motivation, I would say that I have been quite focused at what I want in my life. Like initially, I mentioned that for the armed forces, I was quite focused that, okay, I want to be here. And so there is a certain age before which you can be like, it is somewhere around 26, 27. And after that age, you cannot join the armed forces. That is their criteria. And when I reached like 26, then I decided that, okay, I want to be in data science. So having that focus has actually helped me, being clear in what I want to do in life. And like you mentioned, through the interviews, actually those interviews were the armed forces interviews, which I wasn't able to do it. But apart from that, the corporate interviews, since I was preparing for the armed forces interviews, it has helped me a lot in the corporate interviews, because the process is like more, you can say, more finer when it comes to the armed forces compared to the corporate ones, because in armed forces they actually assess you on psychometric tests, whereas in corporate it becomes easier to actually crack, because you need to have the right relevant knowledge in order for the industry. And since you are groomed over a period of time in defense interviews, you can easily crack the corporate interviews after that. So it has been quite easy to actually crack corporate interviews for me.
Got it. So you have already
Yeah.
done the tougher ones, so these are easier now
Yep.
for you.
Yep.
Okay, okay, I get that. So, when you talk about Manipal Academy of Higher Education, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I have heard that Manipal is almost in all. I mean, it's their one of their universities, even in Jaipur. So, where exactly did you do this from? Was this online? Was this offline campus? What was it?
So in Manipal, I did it from Hyderabad. So there was a branch which was, so initially this was the main branch was Bangalore, but then when I was joining, there was a new branch which opened a year back at that point of time. So I studied in Manipal, Hyderabad. So yeah, but now that program is purely online. At my point of time, it was purely offline. So I used to go to the institute to learn all the disciplines of data science. And but now the COVID has taught us a lot of things. So the Manipal has adopted to an online one. I think, they are able to deliver the same results doing offline. So maybe that is a business model change that they have right now. Yeah.
Got it, got it. So, how was your experience in Hyderabad? I've heard it's a very beautiful city, especially I mean, I clearly see Hyderabad as two different paths. One is completely traditional, and one is where all the corporate sector lies. So,
Mhm.
how was your experience there?
Uh, so when I joined Manipal, it was January 2020, and COVID, you can say lockdown happened in March. So I only had like 2 months. And when I joined Manipal, I was with a clear mind that, okay, I have come here, so I have to, get a job in data science. So over that brief 2.5 months period of time, I didn't got much to visit all the places in Hyderabad, but all the people that I have met, all the friends that I have made, and all the places I have been to, it was really nice and really warm place to be here.
Got it. So tell us something about your profile currently. Usually, most of the profiles that you land up with after doing big data analytics is a data
Mhm.
scientist profile or data engineer.
Mhm.
What exactly does a consultant do? And is it different from being a data scientist?
Uh, consult. So data scientist is something that you can say that he is more adept to data engineering as well as the machine learning concepts. Uh, where my role as a consultant come into picture is that so my one of the projects that I work on is machine learning models monitoring. So monitoring is a you can say a step which comes after the model development. So you actually you track your model over a period of time and see that if it is performing at the same level when you developed it, or do you need to recalibrate your model after a certain period of time because there is a certain data shift that happens in the in the data after a certain period of time. The data doesn't remain the same. If the people's behavior change, so does the data change, and it will actually help you understand in the model monitoring process. Okay, this was the so this was the behavior of the population 10 years back, and now there is a shift in the mindset, and this is how it is at the moment. So yeah. So like just to give you an example, in because I work with credit, so there was so during the COVID period of time, there was a new product that came out of that COVID period is something that we call as buy now pay later, which is a new concept in credit line, which India you can say that Flipkart, Amazon, and these online platforms they have adopted that concept where they give you a credit limit of like 2,000. You don't have to pay it at that point of time, but you can buy the product, then they give you a certain period of time, and then you pay them later. So this is a new product that came out of COVID, you can say. Uh, so, uh, so the behavior actually is driven depending on the economic conditions of the nation as well. So, for example, in India, there was a huge adoption of online payments when demonetization happened, which was really great for the country, I would say. And now you can see that even if you go to a vegetable vendor, he will have this Paytm and you can pay it. You don't have to carry cash. I live in Bangalore, and being honest, I've been here for 2 years. I have never taken out cash from the ATM ever again. I mean, I have to go to Chandigarh, which is my hometown, where I need to have cash, but Bangalore has adopted to it like completely uh, at a new level. So yeah,
True. Most of us won't carry cash at all now. I mean
yeah,
our parents are amazed. They keep telling us the younger generation doesn't have a single penny in their pockets, but that's the way that we have changed ourselves now. So
correct. Correct.
do you end up using any of the predictive modeling in your day-to-day life or any of your data science things in your day-to-day life?
In terms of predictive modeling, uh, so there are different scorecards which our company make. There are like different stages of credit in which the models have been made. One of the model is the applicant score. So if you go to a bank to I'll give you an example of India only. So if you go to a bank and you ask them that hey, I want a home loan of so and so amount, and what they'll do is they'll check your credit score. So credit score that the credit score that you get, like suppose you have CIBIL score of 800. That is nothing but probability converted into three-digit value, you can say. And the higher the credit score, the higher the probability that you will repay back that loan. So there are different, factors you can say that is taken into account, which is your salary, which kind of job do you have, your private or government. So these are like different independent variables which are taken into account when the model is being built. So in terms of predictive modeling used in my day-to-day life, I don't use it as such, but I do have a responsibility to go further and investigate. So if there is a shift in the market behavior or the consumer's behavior, then I have to dig deep down into, the attribute level and see that what is making that happen in real time. So why, the average credit score is going down or going up? What are the reasons? Which attributes are causing that? So these are the areas which I actually play with in day-to-day life.
Got it. I think so. In the future, we will be using it to predict whether our husbands and wives would be happy or sad after a particular action or not. Using it in our day-to-day life, I know. Okay.
Maybe Tinder or Bumble might do that or something like that. Hey, this is a perfect match
Yeah,
for
I
you.
think so. Great startup
And
idea. Maybe if they can make an app out of it and we can just feed our daily activity, we can know how the
yeah,
spouse is going to react to it.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That will be a fun model to make. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So so coming back to this, so I understand that back when you were doing engineering, during that period also you were working for a while as in Tata Consultancy Services. So
Correct.
there you were working as an engineer, right? So
Yep.
do you ever feel that maybe engineering is where you wanted to be, or do you feel safe enough by changing the role towards a machine learning profile?
Okay. So the job which I did from 2016 till 2019 was to put it simply, it would be a survival job in order to be prepared for the armed forces. So at that point of time, my passion was not into corporate or being a corporate employee. I wanted to be an officer in the Indian Armed Forces. So I used to do those jobs, but parallelly I used to study as well. So from 16 till 19, I was going for multiple. I cracked exams, defense exams, and I went for the SSBs and all. But at that point of time, my focus was not much into corporate to build a corporate career, but to be in the armed forces. So, like I mentioned earlier, there is a certain age. After that, then I cleared up my mind, and then I thought of which discipline I need to be in and which intrigued me more. So there was two, either digital marketing or data science. When I studied and researched about both of them, I came to a conclusion that I can be a good data scientist. So that's when I went for the program and I joined Equifax.
Got it. Any current
Yeah.
read or any current course that you have done which you found to be very exciting, and maybe you will want to guide students or freshers to do any course or any book?
Uh, I normally read books which are like self-help books, like Atomic Habits by James Clear, or The Art of War by Sun Tzu, or Seven Habits of Highly Effective People.
Okay,
Because having too much of the same knowledge makes you monotonous and you get bored out of it. So
true.
these are the only books which I normally read. In terms of programs or curriculum, I would recommend if someone is like very new to data science, they probably start with the conceptual part of it, like there are multiple free programs in Udemy and Coursera and other education platforms where they can go and understand the basic conceptual statistics, and then they can build upon that knowledge and then take up, dynamic languages like Python. I would recommend everyone to start with Python and SQL, and then go further with the model building and the model part of it, and then they can further go into deep learning as well. So this is
Got
the
it.
route I would take. Yeah.
So from here, actually, I wanted to kind of ask you. Many
Mhm.
students ask me that there are a lot of free courses available. So should they
Mhm.
be just getting knowledge, or is it really essential to go for a paid course and do a proper degree to get a job? Or what according to you should be enough, getting knowledge through free courses or actually going ahead through a professional course and paying for the course and doing a proper degree in it?
Okay. So, in order to answer that, I would recommend that the person first go and research the data science field and see that what kind of a job that the person would have to eventually do after he has done either the free course or the paid one. So he needs to be clear that, okay, this is the job that I am going to get. There are like this different multidisciplinary job titles, like from data science. Not only you get to become a machine learning engineer or data scientist, you become data analyst, you become uh, uh, data engineer as well. and then there is further higher titles which goes up to like machine learning operations. So if this kind of job actually excites you, then the person can definitely start up with some few programs to see that okay, this is how they are going about. So initially, I did like free programs, then I went for a paid subscription of DataCamp, which I personally found it better, compared to Udemy and Coursera.
Got
But
it.
starting with Udemy and Coursera would be good, but then the data camp was something which actually helped me, so it was normally in Udemy or Coursera, you would, once you complete a concept or a small content, they will ask you MCQs. So, but in data camp, they will ask you to code it. So if you have understood the concept, now you code it, and then you will move further in the next concept. So that is something that was very new to me, and I learned SQL to a great amount in there. And even I'm, learning statistics, and I keep myself, brushed up in these disciplines from time to time. So then once you are like okay and good with it, then you can probably, if you want a job or something, then you can go for some, higher programs like where they're providing you a two years degree or something like that. So that can also be taken into account. So yeah, this is the route which I've taken. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. So even I feel that, the initial interest can be checked through some courses, but if you want to land up a good job, then doing a complete master's degree is going to be the
Right.
ultimate help that you will get. Got it.
Right.
So another very this is from my side. So
Okay.
what is the most expensive thing that you have gone ahead and bought from uh, landing up this job and being in this job for the last 2 years?
Um, most expensive thing.
Or most
I'm
dear to
more of
you
a
should
person
also be
who
fine.
actually, yeah, I'm more of a person who saves money.
Okay.
Uh, let me see. I cannot recall. I think max I would have spent something on is 5,000 maybe.
Oh, is it? No mobile
Yeah.
phones or nothing that you
No,
prefer?
no, I think mobile phones is something. My brother had a good phone, and then he wanted to buy a new one, so I took his phone. My younger brother, so he got a new phone. I borrowed that one, and I'm not able to recall anything that I have bought.
I think so. Then I will say that, I'm much similar to you. Even I somehow don't have much interest in buying technological things, but that's on me. Okay, okay, fine, I get that. The last thing that I would like to ask you is,
Mhm.
how what would you suggest to people who have just done their bachelor's, especially people who are watching out your show from the same college that you passed out to? What should be their aim, and how should they achieve what you have achieved till now in life?
Okay. If you're talking about achievement, I'll just give a personal example of mine. So during my engineering, I actually had 9 backlogs, and even though I ended up with a job in the fourth year in TCS, I had 9 backlogs, and I was like second last in my batch. And then when I joined Manipal, I had to do, like I mentioned, I worked hard, and I came second in my batch. So that was the journey that I did. And from that
That's
journey, I realized that
recommendable.
hard work is always due.
Mm.
So if someone is ahead of you, he just needs to put like 10% of effort, and he can get the same amount of result that you have to put like 90% of your effort, and then get the same result. So hard work will always be due. That you will always have to do. And if a person who is getting out of bachelor's and he's actually looking into coming into data science field, I would definitely recommend first to have a check that if this is the job that they would like to do, and if they are quite confident about it, then they can skip the part where they do a free course or a free program and then do jump into a data camp or something like that. They can directly enroll themselves into a further post graduation degree, because companies nowadays, they are actually uh, hesitant in hiring a new fresher in data science field. They actually prefer a person who has who normally have a few years of experience in data science, and if and their competition is not only among their peers but with the professionals as well, who are like transitioning from different disciplines to data science. Like if a person who has done CA and he's like interested in data science and he has done the same program that you have done, so he will also be a competitor for him, and he would have a certain edge over certain companies over you. So CA would have a financial, edge over a person who does not have a financial background. So on and so forth. So I would recommend them to have a clarity on what role they would like to be in. And even in data science, there are multiple roles. See that if you want to be a machine learning engineer, if you want to be a data engineer, if you're happy with the data analyst, or you want to be a data scientist, these all roles have different expertise that you require, different technologies that you need to be adept with. So that kind of clarity will definitely help them out in planning their longer future in what they want to be in life.
Got it. I think so that is well said. And having a clarity not only with what you want to do, but exactly the subdomain that you want to enter in data science is also very important. And in fact, I know many people who still would not be able to distinguish between a business analyst versus a data engineer versus a data scientist. And to be very frank, very recently I came in, I saw a profile with whom I took an interview. He was a decision scientist, and it excited me that, how is this new profile emerging called a decision scientist? So I think so it is very important for us to know exactly what we want to be before we acquire skills for those things. So well said, Piyush. Thank you. So Piyush, it was a very insightful session. Thank you so much for your time. I think this is going to be very helpful for students, and I hope that they get encouragement, and especially because you shared such a beautiful fact that right from being in college where you had 9 logs to securing a second rank, I think everything is possible. And I see many engineers having backlogs, and I think that they should definitely feel a sense of security that they would be able to do good things in life.
Correct. But the hard work will be due always.
True. That's always there. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Piyush. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.